What's up, Dance Fam? We are back from break and here to recap World of Dance, Season 3, Episode 9.
That took quite a bit there.
Yeah.
I'm
still on break. The first episode of the cuts, I believe.
Yes.
Of the cut.
The cut.
One cut. There's only one cut. Well, 3 cuts. Kind of. Anyway. Man. First of all, are you liking these hour and a half long shows? Well, technically 2 hours if you watch it live.
Yeah, if you watch it live, it's 2 hours.
Without the commercials.
I mean, because I watch it on Hulu, I just speed through the stuff.
I even speed through the stories now.
Yeah, the stories.
Just
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, let me just get to the greedy.
Yeah.
No longer the needy, just the greedy.
Gotcha. Cool. I'm Russ Santos, a.k.a. Lock and Robin, your host as always. And as always with me, I have Eser Valencia. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not too much. I enjoyed my break. Did you enjoy yours?
Oh, I sure did.
That's good.
Fantastic.
Well rested.
Well rested.
Ready to get back at this? World of Dance? Nice. Very nice. So we're doing the cuts. We're doing the upper division and the junior team part of the cut, starting off with the upper division.
Yep.
All right. First up, Jonathan E. Jorge.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start this one off?
Sure.
Go for it. What'd you think of him?
All right. Well, yeah, they're just as good as they were in their previous rounds, but I don't think it was much of an improvement, you know, like they're consistent. I'll give them that, but then just some slight variations throughout the performance as well. Especially like there was just this one part in the beginning where he hoisted him up on his, like, just up there,
right?
And like it didn't look like he had him stabilized for like a quick minute second, and then like when he dropped him, I was like, whee! No, they were good, but they were good. So I was just happy about that, and they're just always very kind of like a jovial couple, and it's like I love that. You know, like if you're showing that on stage and like just throwing it out to your audience, like they're gonna feel that, and it's just like really good that they keep that up. So good on them. I'm very appreciative that they showcased both of them dancing a lot more in a very equal kind of way, rather than like I guess the last time we saw them in the duels. I think it was the partner that was just doing a lot of the dancing, while the other one was the support. Right. I was just like, I want to see him more. They did it. They did it. Yeah. They showed it off. So. Yeah, took the necessary risk for certain tricks, and yeah, they're just very effortless in what they did. They're just both very strong males. Interesting.
Yeah. So I agree that, well, with your first points, but to the point where you say it was effortless, a lot of the parts were for them, but then there were moments, just like how you mentioned their first opening where they were hoisting, or the bigger guy was hoisting the littler dude. You can see the effort and strain actually in his face and in his arms, right? And I think the judges mentioned that before in their previous performances, that was something they needed to work on. So that was apparent for me. I think you mentioned something else. Oh yeah, them like dancing on in their own rights together. Yeah. For a change, I thought that was nice. I agree. But then, as like I think one of the judges mentioned, the smaller guy outdanced the bigger guy. Okay. Because I mean, just for the fact that he dances more, I guess, and the bigger guy is more of a the lifter, I guess you could say. But you know, it was fun. The production, the stage production was nice. It was very colorful. Their technicality, like their technique, was fantastic. But for me, it felt like they were missing something. Like during parts of it felt a little slow to me, and I was waiting for like the next big moment. And they had big moments. There was this one leap where he leapt backwards. Yeah, and then they caught him, and then he caught him, and then lifted him back up. So that was cool. They had a lot of those moments there, but it was in betweens. I was just like, I don't know, kind of waiting. Too much of a lull. Yeah. Okay.
I could see that. Yeah.
But again, their technique is fantastic. So I actually gave them an 89.
I gave them a 90.
So we were pretty much right on. They ended up with 90.7.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
It was just a nice performance, but nothing extravagant, which I was expecting from the two of them for like getting this far.
Right.
Like they would have pulled a real trick out of their hat or something.
And like looking back, none of their performances have really like stood out that much to me.
Not at all.
Like they're good. Like don't get me wrong, they're good. It's just that, and I'm not like, oh, remember when they did this?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Derion and Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I like them. I like these two.
They're very good.
Probably one of my favorites of the night. Yep. Right. Their opening was super strong and super powerful, with Derion being cradled by Madison. First of all, it shows her strength.
Yeah. I almost couldn't tell if she was lifting him.
I couldn't tell either. Because it looked like she was standing straight up, right?
Yeah.
And he was like hovering midair.
Yeah, I was like,
how?
I was like searching, like, where is your arm right now, holding this man up?
Right. It was awesome. So props to her.
Yeah, for sure.
Super strong core and quads there.
Yeah, props.
All of the lifts were effortless. Like when we were talking about Jonathan and Jorge, no, this is effortless. Like like you don't see any kind of strain, and like you don't see any kind of weakness, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. Their moments were super strong. Again, like their whole set was very powerful and moving, but it was built upon great visuals in the moments they had in between. Their chemistry is well known or well seen. They're able to tell a good story here, and their emotion is just I mean, it's so apparent. Mm-hmm. And their control, like the control of their bodies and of each other, is really good. Not once did I think that they were weak.
Oh yeah,
even apart.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, everything you said, and just like overall the genuinity of their choreography and dancing across that floor was just like, oh my. Mm-hmm. It's like you didn't know what was gonna happen next. Right. Like you're just waiting for the story to further unfold for the both of them as they were just showcasing everything. It was just like oh, so that happened. You're just sitting there like, oh.
Exactly.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed their clean and precise moments where it was necessary, and those simplicities took them a long way. Mm-hmm. So it was just great on their part to really think about their decision making when they were making this set as well. So props to them. Mm-hmm. So I very much enjoyed it. It was so beautiful, and I almost forgot to write stuff about this.
I just wanted to keep watching. For me, I was typing and looking at the same time because I didn't want to take my eyes away.
Yeah, I know.
Was like,
it's like, and then you look back. Oh, typos.
Yeah,
all typos.
There were a lot.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh no, I'm good.
Cool.
Love these two.
Yeah, I love them. I gave them a 95.
Me too.
Nice. We were close though.
I know we were.
They had a 94.7. Neo ruined it.
You ruined it
with the 94.
But we still love you because we danced to your music.
Very true. Very true. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more from them.
Me too.
All right, let's move on to Already. Already
what? Already to do what?
Yep. Why don't you take this one? What did you think?
These two, you just never know, because like when you have something fusion, especially like this group, I mean this duo, like you just have to be ready for the unexpected. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I just couldn't stop focusing on like their lips,
right.
Like they were just blinged out, and just like I don't know what to think of it, but it's just like very drawn into that. And then like they had the whole costume like just flared out and everything. So I was just like, they got something good right now. Mm-hmm. Something good coming. And they did. Like I was surprised with like how they mastered to use the skirt into a cape, and it was just like, man, the visuals are just happening really nicely. And it wasn't for me. It didn't seem like it was overpowering with how they were using the cape skirt. Yeah. And the interactions with each other was just like on for me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I felt like they could have done just a tiny bit more to push it. Right. But yeah, it was just just they kept going in and out of like these different kind of ballroom styles as well as like the urban styles, but nothing so specific. So nothing was super clear, but at the same time it just worked, for me.
Fair enough.
But I also asked myself, was the music overpowering the way they were dancing? So I just kept thinking about that. So that's just how I left it off when I was just like done watching. I was like, was it really? Like, because one of the judges did mention that, and I just, for me, when it was happening, I think it was a good balance, and maybe just some tiny parts were just like, okay, maybe, because like it was just a little bit compensation, because like they probably didn't know what to do there, but they just had to fill in those holes in their set.
Right. I agree with you mostly, except I don't agree. I agree with you mostly. So, like, let me first touch on the positives here. You mentioned this. Their outfits are awesome. They have great control of their bodies. And like you mentioned with the prop in their outfit, like, it didn't overpower them. Like, they used it, kind of fluidly there. So, very good with them. Their style, like, it's fusion, but I felt this one was a little bit more abstract. Especially when you throw in the music kind of not meshing there, like you mentioned. And for me, the overall like unmeshingness, uncompatibility there for me, it didn't work. Like I didn't like it, at least. Partly because of how I mentioned that the music and the dance didn't kind of fit for me, but also because, and you touched on this as well, that they were going in and out of different styles. It was like going from refined ballroom to like a raw urban, right? Kind of going between the two, but like never giving 100% of each. Of either. I mean, so I think I mentioned this before. Like they aren't super strong in one particular thing. It's just kind of sacrificing, the styles that they choose to do. So because of that, like I didn't think this was one of their best per se. I ended up giving them an 88 here.
I gave them an 89.
Okay, so kind of agree. We pretty much agree. They ended up with a 92.
Yeah, evenly across all the judges.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe they're seeing something we didn't. Maybe something is just there.
Yeah, it's all opinion.
Yeah, it
really
is.
It's hard to judge.
It really is, because like, no, I definitely see what you're saying, because like they're just jack of all trades, master
and none, really. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Briar Nolet. Man, Nolet. No skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day. Jeez.
I'll start this one. Initially, like her first move, she did like a spinning jump turn, spinning bird kick.
Chun-Ling it. That's what she was doing.
I don't know the proper term here or what the proper name for it is, but the way she landed kind of was a little off balance there. But I was like, yeah. But then from that point on, her technique was flawless. After that,
yeah, she just got over that small hump.
Yeah, after that point, which was the very beginning, and after that point, everything was just technically perfect and flawless, or not flawless, effortless. Her musicality is great. And it was hard for me to find another bad thing about her performance. But there was one thing that stood out for me was her facials. Like the way she emoted kind of felt forced and like ungenuine because of the fact that, she showed one emotion during one moment, but then like one beat after she would like just throw that facial away. Like it had nothing to do with anything. So, I mean, if I had to nitpick, it'd be that, just because after that, I didn't really believe it. She would go in and out, kind of the way already went in and out of their style. She went in and out of her facials. What'd you think? I didn't have anything else to say, really.
The way she was just landing her tricks, let me just say that, it was appropriately placed within that set and just like on the music, which is amazing how she just timed it that way. And she really studied what she was doing, and it shows. So very excellent choice in the song as well. Yeah, like it really helped her move along into the next round. Like she was just feeling it, and I was very engaged, and it was just she was very left vulnerable, and it was like a full-on emotional set, and I thought it was just pure magic. So girl was really wrecking shop that last night Sunday night when this episode premiered. But I do agree, because like it was hard to nitpick at her after the initial, like in the beginning, I mean, when she started. But yeah, I'll agree to the facial things, 'cause I was just like, it didn't pull me fully in. I was just like still studying like how she was just going about herself on that stage within this set. So yeah, definitely anything. It was her facials.
Nice. I gave her a 93.
I think I like her too much. I gave her a 98.
God damn. Yeah, you liked her. Oof. Well, Derek gave her a 97, so you weren't too far off.
Yeah.
She ended up with a 95.3, so one of the highest of the nights, if not the highest. Can't remember. No, someone else got higher.
Someone got higher.
Much higher.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. D'Angelo Brothers.
Yeah.
What'd you think, man?
The Brothers. Let's see. Well, again, like they definitely showed out with like a lot of like just like the entire piece, actually, just hearing those intricate like taps and just having that music in the background just to support it and just keep their tempo. So good on them. Like, and it was a different take this time, instead of like them being just partners and just like, you know, playing along and interacting and exchanging. It was a different kind of exchange. They were definitely like dueling themselves.
Having their own duels.
Yeah, they were having a personal duel of like that brotherly rivalry, which is like pretty amazing sometimes. So good on them to just like have that sort of like different kind of interaction, because sometimes conflict can really show like a different story.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Conflict definitely does that. I don't know, maybe because I mean, I'm not competent in tap, but I love it anyway. But I felt like that some parts were still a little muddled through when they were getting through those like soft musical moments, and then like they're just really getting along to the like intricate tapping parts. So it was hard to keep up, but at the same time, like really listen to like those particular beats as well. So that was just one of the things, like that's just how I read it.
Sure.
You know, and it really was just like everything or nothing for them at this point, which is very appropriately so.
Right. Because I mean, they're about to get cut.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. I pretty much said everything you said. I wrote down everything you said. One thing you didn't mention, well, you did, but I just thought it was an interesting song choice or music choice there. Even when the music was there, it was still very interesting for them to tap to.
Right.
And like, it's what they were doing was very technically challenging.
Oh, it sure was.
Like all the rhythms that they were hitting with their tap, pretty much it's challenging. But I don't know. Overall, it was just kind of a lull for me. Like I wanted to get into it, but I don't know. It's so weird. I think they needed a better balance of having music and no music, and it may have been the song choice really.
True, because it may have been too soft.
Yeah, or too soft, and then like when the music was there, it was just kind of like slow. I mean, it was like I don't know what kind of song it is. Kind of trancey or EDM-y is the word. Anyway,
edamame.
Anyway, it just wasn't really doing it for me. I mean, it's still good. Again, like super technically challenging.
Yes, very much so.
I gave them an 88.
Gave them a 90.
Okay, not too far off. They actually got a 91.7. Judges being really, I don't know.
I feel like they were a little generous this time around.
That's the word.
Because everybody's supposed to be at 85 or above.
Yeah, right.
It's like everybody's getting 90 so far.
if they're even judging them, it's all rigged, man. I feel like these numbers are just thrown out there.
I know.
Just saying.
Those montages of them using those iPads to scale up and down is not real.
I know. Like, Anyway, so dumb.
It's like pre-recorded scaling up and down.
It really is, because like if you notice, like they're using like pens or something.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, but then like it shows fingers for the. Come on. Anyway, continuity here.
Yep.
All right, next or last.
The last
of the upper
division.
Poppin John, my favorite for the night, actually.
Woo!
And I may be biased, but I don't know. First of all, like the prop that he had, the balloon, very good use of it.
Oh my goodness!
Not once did he lose control of it at all, and not once did it feel like it overpowered his set. Like if anything, it just felt like a good extension of his body.
Sure was.
The storytelling there, fantastic. His control of his body, fantastic. His technique, great popping, great with his hits and his isolations. It was just really good for me. And I may be biased towards like the urban street styles here, but I just thought overall it was just a really good performance. One thing Neo said was that he called popping an emotionless style. Like
I didn't agree with that.
No, like
I really didn't.
It's like, how did you turn a normally emotionless style into something that had emotion? I was like, no.
Nah.
You can't really argue that any style is emotionless.
I know.
Like dance brings out emotion, period. So like Neo. I trusted him so much. This season, man, he's really dropping the ball with it for me. Anyway, yeah, so I like Poppin John. What'd you think, man?
Yeah, this guy was the authentic thing, like his set for this round definitely reminded me of like those performances in Digs Deeper. Like you really take it to a different place. Like I've seen some really sick popping sets to very untraditional funky like songs. It wasn't necessarily G-funk or anything from the disco era or just like any funky era. It's just like get outside the box and like tell me your story with what you're comfortable with. And this is what he exactly did. And it was very nice that he showed this side of what popping can do. And yeah, like I was already taken in by like the simplicity of his balloon heart. And it was just like, man, that's a heavy heart that he's carrying, just trying to push down, push up. Yeah. It was like very great illusion. But besides that, it was just like the control was just amazing. And he really is the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
Papa John's.
Papa John's. What else did I write here? Yeah, it was just a lot of glass shattering, I felt like it was just a lot of glass shattering for a lot of the audience, everybody's used to one kind of way of how popping is supposed to look like. And yeah, and this really much changed the game.
Pop and lock, man.
No. we're not doing that.
Oh man. I gave him the highest score I've given, I think, so far in this season, a 97.
Ooh. Yeah. I give him a 94.
Dang. Who did you like more? You like
I like Briar.
Yeah, Briar more. I mean, yeah, that's true. Anyway, I give him a 97. He ended up with a 95 across the board. So props to him.
Moving on.
Pops to him.
Pops to him.
All right. So who goes through in the upper division? Poppin John, Briar Nolet, and Derion Madison, right?
Derion Madison. So the top three.
Yeah, really good three.
Yeah.
Really strong three.
Yeah, they got some pretty high scores there.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hooda.
So now we move on to the junior teams.
Ooh, boy.
And like a couple of them got montaged in the cut. It's so dumb. But before we get there, so like I didn't even take notes on a bunch of them. Just
I tried.
It blew by.
I really did try. I mean, it was just like by the time it was done, I was like, why?
Nope. Yeah. But first up, VPeepz from the homeland again. Philippines.
Hometown.
What do you think of that, man?
I was already like edge of my seat when they were walking out with those barongs, man.
Yeah, man.
I was like, ooh.
For those who don't know, that's a traditional formal wear for Filipinos.
Yep.
Filipino, well, both men and women.
Men and women. But But yeah, with the different colors, I have the blue one that they were wearing. Actually,
nice. You could have been on that team.
I could have been standing there like the tallest guy ever. No, but seriously, like they gave everything they had in this one. I felt it. I was emotionally invested in this performance of theirs.
Really?
I felt it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, like especially, I did catch what they were saying about like what they were going for in the set. Was just like, oh yeah, we're not as privileged, or we live very comfortably. And I was like, yeah, I can relate to that. You know, like, I mean, I didn't live there for very long, but I know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So, like, just seeing like that struggle, and now seeing where they are, and like they're still very young, and watching them just give their all on that stage and just pouring their hearts there, like the cleanliness, the precision, then like just seeing them cry after, it was just like, man, they were very together, like mentally and spiritually right then and there. Like, oh, talk about one mind.
Sure.
But yeah, it wasn't super complicated like I thought it would be, you know, and just that simplicity of the unchaotic and just uncomplicatedness of it, just like it made sense when I was watching it.
Fair enough. For me, pretty much everything you said, except for the emotion thing, I wasn't really feeling it in terms on the emotional level, at least. They're super good. Like you mentioned, all the positives I want to give them. They're clean and control their body. One thing you didn't mention was that I liked was that they made really good use of different rhythms to hit in their choreography there. So like, and that's one of the things that I just can't stand when people keep hitting the same rhythm over and over again. But they changed it up, so props to them for that. And their energy is super high. One negative was that their blocking really wasn't all that great for me. It barely changed, and when it did, like, don't get me wrong, it did change. They did have different blocking in there, but for the most part, it was very simple and very anticipatory.
Okay.
That's not even a real word.
Also, a word now.
Yeah, there you go. Also, their transitions weren't all that great either. Oftentimes, they were just kind of walking or doing the you can't see me run. But yeah, I just need transitions to be better for them there. I gave them a 92.
I gave them a 98.
90. But you weren't far off. JLo and Derek gave them a 98. Neo gave them 100. I don't agree, but I can see where everyone's coming from. So they ended up with a 98.7. So that's the highest of the night. I think highest ever, really, for this season.
Yeah, for this season.
So obviously doing something right there.
Right.
Keep it up. They're definitely going through.
Oh, sure.
Then the next two teams were montaged.
Were they? Elektro Crew?
Elektro Crew kind of was. It kind of just jumped into the middle of their set.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess.
Like, so I wasn't really able to get everything. I wrote kind of montage, and then overall I said that for the most part you were able to anticipate everything they were going to do with their set.
Yeah, for Elektro Crew, like for the part that they were on TV, it didn't do it for me. It really didn't. I saw better in their last round, which is like, what happened?
Yeah, it wasn't competitive enough.
No.
I gave him an 84.
Oh, I was being generous then. I gave him a 91.
Jeez, no, I did not think that would have made it through.
Yeah.
If they were doing qualifiers. Anyway, they actually got a 90. So
yeah,
I don't know. Something's going on here.
Something's going on.
So next group, JDC, they were montaged again too.
Yeah.
They were montaged in the qualifiers. We got to see them in the
duels,
and they were good in duels.
Yeah,
I was excited to see them.
Mm-hmm.
But then looking at this set, well, the very short part that we did see, the rhythms were repetitive. And I mentioned this earlier. That's something I look for. And it didn't feel as genuine as their dual set did. It looked really staged. What did you think of them?
I don't know. It was there were parts that were properly executed and they were still raw with it, but I don't know. It was just a slight disconnect with the music and choreography for me when I was just sitting there. It's just like, oh, sad.
Fair enough. That it?
That's all I could get.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
There's not much you could do when they're montage.
I was like, this disappoints me.
I was like, so I wrote down, I think I gave him a 90. Did you give him a score?
I gave him a 92.
Okay, well, they got 91.3.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then the Crazy Eights. And they focus on the one girl.
Yeah.
Selectively mute.
Yep.
All the time. First of all, I thought they were clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as they always are.
Yeah.
What I liked about this set was that the overall theme and the feel of this set was very different from their previous two. So that was good, and I liked it, and I loved how dedicated they were to the theme. I mean, they love the stage, like you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
But there were still like repetitive parts from their previous.
Oh yeah.
Like with the girl spinning on her belly with the leg up, and then generally raising their leg up and spinning and whatever. So kind of repetitive there. What'd you think, man?
Yeah, same things, but of course, my first note here was just basically pint-sized powerful pixies. Like seriously, like
alliteration.
You can't outmatch these little girls. Like they're very much monsters, but at the same time, I was disappointed that they were just recycling, moves and like tricks, and I was like, that's nice. Maybe for like a studio competition,
right?
But not here, not now, not at this level. So I expected more. So, and then some transitions were lacking at certain points in their set. So I was just like, okay, like it was like I don't know. Most of the time it felt like it was just they were opening and closing their formations, and then like that was just them compensating for those transitions.
Right.
So I was like, no, I wanted, give me a little more movement.
Right.
And then that also caused them to not really use their space as much. So I felt like they were just not giving everything they had at this point anymore. So it was just like maybe a default kind of set focused on
the girl.
The girl.
Yeah. Like, kind of want to know more about everyone else.
Right,
No offense to her, obviously.
Yeah.
I gave them a 91.
I gave them a 93.
They ended up with a 92.3, so right in between there.
Yep.
Next up, they were next group
another
was
montaged.
Get Down District.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I didn't get to give them a score either.
Yeah, I didn't score them. This one was super short too.
Yeah.
They were 90. They did a 90 set.
Yep.
90s like party move set. So a lot of party moves and party grooves there. With whacking mixed in there.
A little bit.
So that was cool.
A little bit from what we saw.
Yeah, I liked it. One comment that they did show from Neo saying that it was a little bit too party and not competitive.
True.
Which I can see that, but with like whacking, it's hard to. There's a technique to that.
Yeah,
like,
there is.
You got to understand these different styles. It's kind of like how we have to understand how tap is technically challenging too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't score them, but they ended up with an
88.7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're not going through.
They're not going.
Leading up to the last junior team, the Dancetown Divas. What'd you think of them, man?
Dancetown Divas. All right. So Madonna's Vogue. All right. Incorporating with it was salsa, right?
Sure.
Bachata?
Sure.
Okay.
Ballroom.
Latin
ballroom.
Gosh, I don't want to generalize. I feel like I'm making a mistake.
No, but we should definitely know what these styles are.
But anyways,
Samba?
Like, yeah, they utilized that entire like music video to their best, and it was just like nice to see them give their effort in voguing. But I don't know, it didn't seem Vogue enough. I think hand placements was all over the place as well, especially like gloves. Like the gloves was just really making it very apparent for them to mess up, and you could see those mistakes. So in the future, I guess publicly here for everybody, if you're going to perform with gloves, make sure you're all in sync, because we're going to read that. Right. But yeah, other than that, they sold it with me with the hairstyles and the costumes.
Yeah, presented very presented
well. Yeah, they they were just really on. Like, I love that about it. Like, the sass was there, like the attitude, and just like the meshing of their dance style along with that song or that mix of a song. It was just like, wow, this makes me enjoy it better, you know? And then, yeah, pretty much the difficulty of dancing in those heels. Can't argue with that. I wouldn't know what that would be like, but I know it's difficult.
Fair enough. Yeah, pretty much said everything you did. Obviously, the song choice is good because I do like that song. But what I couldn't... Oh, another positive here before I go into negative. They brought... I'm glad they brought their ballroom back because when they tried doing it in their duo or not using it so much in their duo, it kind of showed.
Yeah.
And it was much weaker. So I'm glad they brought it back here. But what I couldn't get behind was that they did the Vogue song, and I think they wanted to do Vogue moves, but for the most part, they were doing whacking moves.
Yeah.
Whacking and punking there.
Yeah.
Those poses were more whacking placements there.
Yeah.
And they did, don't get me wrong, they did a little bit of Vogue, but again, like you said, it wasn't clean, it wasn't sharp, and the placements there are very important when it comes to voguing. Yeah, so like the mashing of whacking and voguing, which is very common mistake to do, was very apparent. I just couldn't get behind it. But overall, I give them a 90 still.
I gave them a 91.
Okay, so we're right there, but they got a higher score with a 93.3.
Yeah, Derek gave them a high score, man. Yeah. 95.
Again, I think it's all rigged. Rigged.
Unless Derek really scored that.
Yeah, maybe. So they'll be going through along with the Crazy Eights.
Crazy Eights and VPeepz.
VPeepz, of course.
The highest of the night.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yikes. Well, that's it for this episode. We did it.
We did it.
We're back from break.
We are?
We are back
from
God.
Break. Why?
Why run?
Why run? Anyways.
Yeah, that's it. Anything else about this episode? Anything you're looking forward to?
What I look forward to is no more montages. Because you're cutting down to the last bit of dancers. I'm like, what else is there to montage?
Well, there's one more cut episode.
But still, man.
They're going to have montage, I think.
I don't want that.
They're going to do it.
I don't want that.
I don't want it.
But it's unfortunately going to happen. But that's probably the one thing I will want to look forward, but it won't happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's dumb. They need to figure it out.
Man,
do something better.
Editing, do your job.
All right. That's it for me, too.
Yeah.
So, Eser, thank you for stopping by. We will see you again next week.
I will be back.
Cool. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at ValCirca.
Fantastic. As always, I'm Russ Santos, a.k.a. Lock and Robin. You can find me on Instagram at Lock and Robin and Twitter if you want. And Reddit, if you want to shoot me a message there. I also post this on Reddit as well. So, if you liked everything that you heard and saw, go to our YouTube, subscribe, like this video. If you're on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen to us on podcasts, if you listen to us on podcasts, give us a good review there. That'd be fantastic as well. Or go to our website, dancefamtv, and check out the rest of our stuff. #session guys. Peace out.